let's talk about one of the most influential acoustic guitar players to arise in our decade, Marcin
Patrzalek.
Now, if you aren't familiar with Marcin, which I'm sure most of you are, he's an incredible classical guitarist specializing in flamenco that has seen an exponential rise in popularity, gaining most of his exposure throughout the past couple years or so, while also performing with some very relevant musicians. His videos are often made up of guitar playing that utilizes every technique imaginable crammed into 30 seconds, accommodated by an atmospheric setting, and sometimes even on top of a moving vehicle. It's genius. Based on the comments I've been seeing lately, many of you may be wondering, why don't I talk about Marcin, especially when talking about the modern guitar wave? But before I get into that, let me preface by saying Marcin Patrzalek is a sensational musician. His accuracy and technique is flawless, especially when navigating between the Raschiato fingerstyle and percussive guitar drumming. The aspect I find the most fascinating about Marcin is how effectively he's able to blend traditional sounds derived from classical and Spanish music with modern techniques like tapping and thumping. He literally condenses sounds from several musical periods into one style, and I think that's brilliant. Now, for my take, there is no doubt that Marcin's traditional yet nuanced approach to guitar playing is unique and appealing, but there are some aspects of it that feel a bit gimmicky, and I don't mean gimmicky in the manner of him resorting to the same tactics over and over, but the actual definition in the sense of attracting attention. Not in the bad way though. I see Marcin as an amazing musician with a shock factor, and that shock factor being the visually appealing techniques he applies to his playing. Essentially what I'm saying is I find him to be more of a performer that's also a great musician. His sound alone clearly expresses that there's a talented guitarist at work, but for me personally, seeing Marcin and hearing Marcin trigger two distinct emotions. When I hear him play, I'm like, okay, all right, that's okay, interesting. And then seeing him, I'm like, wow, that is absolutely mind-blowing, because what he's doing doesn't really make much sense, at least to me, if I'm not watching him do it. In order for me to fully appreciate what he's doing and how he's playing, I have to be seeing it. And just for the record, I cannot at all do what he does. The reason I don't mention Marcin too much in regards to music and modern musicians is because it's personally not music I enjoy listening to. And giving an opinion or critique on something I initially lack a preference for isn't grounds for a fair rating. And although Marcin does play guitar, what he creates is quite different from normal guitar-based music. I've never been a fan of artists that beat their guitars while playing, but that's just my personal bias. Electric and acoustic guitars do have areas where they overlap a little bit, but guitarists who primarily play acoustic typically adopt styles that make use of the resources that an acoustic guitar provides, such as the heavier strings making it easier to integrate fingerstyle, as well as the percussive capabilities the instrument possesses. If it was just the music, I would honestly much rather listen to regular classical guitar, but reiterating what I said earlier, I love to watch Marcin play. And even though he plays a style that I may not be particularly fond of, for me, it's his technique that makes it engaging to watch. When it comes to Marcin, all I can really provide commentary on would be his wow factor. And if I had to rate it, it would easily be a 10. I wouldn't be surprised if he even managed to flip a burger while in the middle of performing his riffs. It is truly mind-blowing how many sounds and pieces he's able to get out of one guitar in real time. Like, it's seriously impressive. With my preferences aside, Marcin is a super talented musician, and he definitely possesses some guitar playing characteristics that make him one of a kind. And even when I watch him play, I'm not entirely sure what all is going on because there's just so much, which is exactly what makes it so satisfying to watch. Before people start assuming that I'm hating on Marcin, understand that just like everyone else, I am a person with preferences, and when I share my opinion, I'm going to share my actual opinion. not a version of it that's coated in sprinkles and chocolate syrup. It doesn't matter if I'm giving reviews, feedback, or criticism. I'm going to tell you how I feel, but I will always give credit where it's due. And just to say it again, Marcin is a super amazing guitarist. That was my hot take on Marcin Patrzalek. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.